Hello everybody, this is Khashir. Welcome to my new tutorial series on Pygame. Before this tutorial, in the past I made a couple of games with Pygame and I made a couple of tutorials for it, but I decided to make a different type of tutorials and focus on different aspects of the game which you are going to deal with when you want to make any kind of game. And it would be like how to manage your files, how to for example make your animation, how to rotate, and how to write your own physics and collisions, and the things that separately can be learned and you can implement them anytime with your in your games. So in this video I'm going to cover the file structure and rotation. So the way I am doing it, I'm not sure it's the best way. Of course there would be better ways for the professional people who are making professionally games, but I don't think so anybody really making a professionally game with Pygame, maybe one or two as I remember, but I think the file structure should be something like this, that you have three files, separate file, and the main file, the settings file which holds all your setting information or something like config file, the assets which you are loading and importing your assets files like images and sounds, and the main file where you can basically you're writing your game. I think there may be some people using something like classes also, and put everything in the classes and completely like some sort of static programming, and but the way I am doing, I use classes as I will use today, but I'm not focusing extremely on coding just in an object-oriented way. Like it should be some sort of balance between the different concepts. But anyway, so and also what we need here is two separate files, img for image and snd for sounds, and this don't think about this one. And I'm using PyCharm here. This is my settings. As you see, I'm importing Pygame OS, and from Pygame I import mixer, from random import rand range and choice. Here as you of course know, Pygame.init mixer.init, I'm initializing the mixer and the Pygame framework. I set the Pygame mouse that's visibility to true, and when we are going to use our own mouse cursor, we will set it to the false. This is my screen width and height, and the tile size when we want to use the tile system and use the collision and those kind of stuff. Frame per second is 60. This is our screen and this is our title, and these two lines basically give us the path to these two folders. So when I want to load something like image, I will use this path to access the image, and the asset file is empty for now and the main file is empty. What we need to do after we import everything that we need in settings, after we just use wildcard importing methods and so we import everything from setting to assets. This is my way of doing it, and as I said, maybe of course there are more ways to do the same thing, there may be better ways of course. So here from assets, from settings, import everything, and in main I'm going to import everything from assets. So from assets, import everything. The reason I'm doing this way, because from assets I'm importing everything from the settings, and here I'm going to load my image and assets basically, and main I'm importing everything once from the assets and settings for main menu and use it here. And our main menu basically will be the main loop. So this will be the main loop, nothing special, a simple switch, and running equal true or flag, while running for event in Pygame that event.get. I'm not going to explain everything, but I assume like you are watching this video, you already have some experience with Pygame and Python. If event.type equal Pygame.quit, then running equal false. And I think Pygame.quit is not necessary, in fact. And here is we are going to clean the screen by screen.fill, and instead of defining RGB colors, we are just using Pygame.color class, and here will be black. And here, like my other videos, will be our updates and logics. And here will be the rendering or render, and here will be refreshing the screen. Refresh, and will be Pygame.display.flip. And you can use update, but flip, I think it's using double buffer by default, and also flip refreshing the whole screen, but update you can refresh a specific part of the screen, if I remember correctly. And here we also define our clock. Then here will be clock.tick FPS, which running with 60 frames per second. So basically we are running our main game loop 60 times every second. You can also use this line at the end after display flip, but really doesn't matter. Another thing we can do here that we might use them later is x and y equal Pygame.mouse.get position to give us the mouse position, and here left click equal false, and here right click equal right click equal false. Just let's test the code here. Okay, here is our window. So okay, let's go for importing our assets. I have only one image in my image directories, sample tile.png. You can use any PNG file as you want, and the way we are going to use it is we go to assets and create a variable, call it sample image equal Pygame. When you are dealing with only one image, you don't need to use a for loop or something like that, but later on when we going to use like 10, 20 or 30 images, maybe more, for different part of the animation of our game, we can't load every image one by one this way. So this is just works for practically for one image. Pygame.image.load and os.path.join, and here we have our image directory img.dir, and here the full name of our file, which is this sampleTile.png, and we use .convert alpha, which give us the transparency over the part of the image that have transparent parts, basically. So, and this is different than color key, so I will go over that also later. And let's one more time run the code if we have any problem here. No, means like we don't have any problem. So now let's go for rotating this object. We create a class. I hope you have some understanding of object-oriented programming in Python. Class rotation or rotate object, and it will inherit from Pygame sprite class. So Pygame.sprite with capital S, which is sprite class, and our constructor define init. Here we have self, x and y for position, width and height, and the image itself. So basically it means later we can use any image and use this class to rotate it. And here we have to initialize the superclass, which is this class, by super.init. All right, now we have access to all the methods and classes available for Pygame sprite class. And here self.x equal x, self.y equal y, self.width equal width, self.height equal height, and here I think if you before you create a class for using external image, here normally we do self.image equal something, or use Pygame surface. But now I'm going to use make self.image origin. The reason for that is for rotation we need to copy the original image and readjust the center of the image after rotate each frame. Okay, so here will be self.image equal image, which we will define later. I add it as a pass it as a parameter later. And here self.image origin equal Pygame.transform.scale self.image origin to self.width and self.height. What this line do is taking this image and it use transform scale method on it, and it's basically saying like, okay, take this image and scale it by this width and this height. So whatever image we load in our assets, it will take it and it will scale it to these numbers what we are going to give to our object. Now we define self.image equal self.image origin.copy, and basically we are using this image and as a copy of the original image. Now we get the rect, self.rect equals self.image .get rect and self.image .top left equal self.x and self.y. So before we continue, let's create an image, create an object or instance from our class. Let's call it player equal rotate object, and for x and y we put it on 100 and 100, width 32 and 32 pixel, and the image will be this image, sample image. Okay, now when we run the code, of course we will not have anything because we just create an instance from the class, but we don't render it yet. We didn't render it yet. So I hope by now we don't have, okay, I forgot the comma here. Just checking for possible errors. And here self.image rect dot top left should be. What else? There is no rect. Pygame server has no object rect. Huh. Okay. Self.rect equals self.image.get rect. Yeah, because we didn't give it a we didn't get it. I give it an image yet, I guess. Self.image.get rect. Okay, let's see where is the problem. Where are you? Then set that image, and it's set that image that direct top left. Okay, yeah. This is the problem. Sorry about this. Self.rect the top left. We don't need to use image. Okay. Now we have the screen and there is no problem. But for splitting it, we can actually split this image standalone on the screen. But the better way is, especially when we are going to deal with different images. Hundreds of images, maybe we can't split them one by one, and we can use the Pygame sprite container class, which is a sprite group. So call a variable here, all the sprites. Actually, let's make it up here. All sprites equal Pygame.sprite.group class. And after creating our instance, we say all sprites dot add the player. And here in update, we just simply use all sprites dot update. And for render, we just say all sprites dot draw, and where to draw on the screen. So this should give us our image appear here. So now let's try to rotate this image. So first of all, our class needs to have an update method. So update self, and for now is pass. And another thing I put there, I put the rotate method. Rotate self and pass. For rotating, we need a couple of things. The frame, the distance change in each update, and the last update time, and the speed of rotation. Basically, we are waiting, let's say, like 30 milliseconds before each update. Okay, so for that, we create a couple of attributes. Self.rotation equal, for now, is 0. This can be also, you can think of it as a degree each time for rotating your image. Self.last update equal Pygame.time.getTicks. and self.speed equal 30. So this is working reverse. So when you have 10 here or 20, it's rotating faster. So the number goes up, it's reverse. The speed going down. And after I'm going to replace this pass with self.rotate. So every time in our main game loop we call this all the sprite update, it's going to call this method, and this method will call the rotate method. You can also directly put everything in update, but personally I don't like it. So here for each time tick we have to calculate the current time. So now equal again Pygame the time that get ticks, which give us the current time. And here is very basic and simple logic. If now minus self.last update is smaller than self.speed, that's why I said this speed working reverse. So you up the speed, this weighs more, okay? Then self.last update equal now. We just reset the last update for now, so it can recalculate again. And here what we need to do now is self.rotation equal self.rotation plus, let's say 10 here. To rotate it and divide it by the percentage of 360, so it gives us the nice round rotation. It's something like you're creating a frame distance change in each update. And here we have to have the new image equal self.image or image original, which is the first image here what we loaded. And now we need to take care of a couple of things. Now new image equal Pygame dot transform dot rotate. Now transform rotate is coming to work in this part of the code, which is actually rotating the image. And here we just give it the image for rotate. Self dot image origin is the image what we want to rotate. What happened? Transform. Oh, very bad typo here. Pygame.transform rotate. And okay, sorry. And here self.image origin and self.rotation. Basically, it's get two parameters: the image you want to rotate and the degree of the rotation. And here we copy the old center. I call it just old center equal self.rect.center. And here self.image is the new image, which is this one, which we rotated. And now again self.rect equal self.image.getRect. Now we calculate the new rect for new image, and after self.rect.center equal old center. Okay, this will prevent the image to go off the screen. So if everything works okay, we can have our rotation now. Let's run the code, and the self.update that now is main.py. What is it? Indentation. Oh yeah, I forgot to indent everything. Okay, I hope you saw this error. And we'll Pygame's attributes transform, transform, again another typo, transform. Okay, let's check it. Alt center is self.direct.center, self.image, new image, and the rest of the class. So here is our little rotation. When you want to change direction of your rotation, you just change it in here, like you can say -10. Go rotate to another side. Okay, other way around. And here you can play with speed. Let's say this is now 60, and you will see it will rotate much slower, and you make it like 10, it rotates pretty fast. And you can actually expand this class and put more attributes and create more control over your rotation, and that's entirely up to you. But the thing is that you can use this class in different area of your code or game. So I guess this will be our tutorial for today, and the next tutorial I'm going to show you how to animate the image, and later on we are taking care of some collisions, and after that hopefully I can show you how to create your own particle system for lighting and explosion and this kind of stuff. So as always, if you like my videos, my tutorials, please subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I see you guys in the next video.